Hi, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Ideas Sin. My name is Denise, and I'm excited to bring to you Stanley today. How's it going, Stanley?
Pretty good. Can't complain.
Yeah? Oh, nice. Yeah. I mean, we were already talking about the weather in Houston and Austin. It's kind of like windy here, but when I met you, you were visiting Austin. Was this the first time you've ever been to Austin, or have you been to Austin before?
So I've been to Austin maybe a couple times now. I think it might have been the third time when I met you. It was the first time I was ever in that location.
Okay.
It was pretty nice.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you guys were hitting up a few shops on South Congress.
Yeah, don't get me started with like the actual names of the shops.
Oh.
I'm really good at visual stuff, but names I'm terrible with.
I'm the same way. I'm like, okay, I could give you landmarks and all this stuff, but when it comes to names of things, I'm like, I don't know. I have no idea.
Exactly. Exactly. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was really cool because I ended up meeting you and some of your friends in a clothing store. I think, oh my gosh. I'm thinking Aviator for some reason. I don't know if that's actually the name of it, but
I forgot the name of it too, but honestly, that guess would have been closer than my guess. So,
okay.
Yeah, way closer.
But it was like a pretty cool store to like meet you guys in, because there's like a pool table, which is what we like ended
Yeah.
up doing, just playing pool and shooting the shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yep.
yeah.
The entire time it was a good little vibe. They had a lot of cool clothes, but stuff was expensive.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I mean, have you gotten, I know one of your friends is into producing his own clothing brand, but
Yeah, Sam.
yeah, Sam. Yeah, I didn't want to just like drop names just in case, but yeah, if I could drop the names, that's fine. We'll do that.
Sorry about that.
But have you worked with him on any of the clothing, or are you just more like, yeah, I just love to see what's out there?
So most of the time, he comes. We live in the same apartment complex. He's like 3 floors up. I'm on the first floor.
Yeah.
So he'll come down sometimes. Like, hey, Stanley, I got an idea. I want to, run by you. And he'll come down. He'll show me some of the stuff that he's been working on, and I'll just be like, hey, yeah, no, looks good. Or you could probably tweak something here or there just to have a better visual. But most of the time, it's him doing the actual creativity stuff, and I'm just there like, okay, yeah, looks good. And then I'll help model some of his stuff too. So
yeah, I mean, you're rocking his hat, which is awesome.
Oh yeah. It's a nice little Marlboro. It's his racing line right now that he's trying to promote. So I like his hats. I like his stuff. So it's good.
No, it looks good.
Best of both worlds. Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, and so we kind of talked about this a little bit, but like we're more visual people. And so it's funny because you're saying you're more visual, but then, when we met, we were talking about how you're also like an artist, a musician, a singer. Like what kind of got you into that? What, like, have you always been like an artist, musician, or is this something that you navigated into later in life?
So I've been around music my entire life. I grew up in the church. I sung in the church. My mother and my father, they both sung in the church. They also did like music on the side. My mom, she's in a band. My dad, he doesn't really do music as much anymore, but he's still really big on playing guitar. He's still really big on singing. So ever since I can remember, it's always been music around me. So I can't really say like, I can't really say it's been like, 13 years old, I was really big into music, or, I heard one song and I wanted to do something as soon as I heard that. It's just always been around me. So, yeah.
That's awesome. So do you have a preference for the kind of music that you...
I love to listen to any kind of music. And I know a lot of people say that, but I think I truly do. I grew up singing classical, some country stuff, rap, hip hop, R&B. That's the stuff I really grew up on. My parents were really big into like Motown stuff, like 70s, 80s, like Marvin Gaye, Luther Vandross, like around the 80s and 90s. So my musical, like, I guess, journey listening has always been super diverse.
That's awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's kind of the same with me too. I love listening to all these different styles because it's like you find inspiration in each one. And yeah, we're gonna have to share some like Spotify playlists with each other. I think we'd, I think we'd have like some like really cool taste in like music and sound and understanding
Oh
that.
yeah. Yeah, I have to agree. I have to agree with what you just said too, because I mean, especially when it comes to like actually trying to create music,
Mm.
it's cool to take different elements from these different genres and just trying to like find my own style and my own sound, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah. So then, at what point did you start to create your own music?
So I want to say I started creating maybe 2014 when I graduated high school. Yeah, that's when I got serious into it. I got my first DAW, which is digital audio
Yeah.
workspace, when I was 14, well, 18. So yeah, as soon as I graduated.
That's awesome. Did you have to
Mhm.
study music theory or take any classes or anything, or were you just kinda like, "Yeah, I got my DAW, let me just tinker around and figure it out?"
And it was a good bit of both. I was fortunate enough to sing at a church, and they taught us musical theory.
Mm.
So I didn't go to school for it, but of course, working with my DAW and then singing at the church, it sort of helped me develop like a sort of ear in a sense, and some of the technical stuff too. So
Yeah. Oh,
yeah,
that's cool.
I'm a learn as you go kind of guy. So
Yeah. So, I mean, let me see. So you started off with singing, and then did you expand out into learning other instruments to incorporate it into your music, or are you still kind of like, yeah, I'll sing and I have or you could tell me. I'm not gonna
yeah,
complicate the
no,
question.
no, you're fine. No, so yeah, I started playing piano a little bit. And when I mean started playing, I really mean like on and off.
Mhm.
Um, Up until like now, honestly, I'm trying to learn how to play guitar. I have an acoustic and electric
Yeah.
guitar. One was gifted from my dad, and then the electric guitar I bought like $400 at Guitar Center or something.
Yeah.
So, just like trying to learn how to play that, I probably should have started with guitar first instead of the piano because
Really?
the piano's a little bit easier.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, at least for me. At least for me. I know a lot of people like, oh yeah, I can do both. That's not me right now.
So, okay, so then what's one of the for people who have never played an instrument or done anything with music, I mean, for you having a musical background, like how difficult is it to like pick up an instrument, would you say?
I mean, I guess honestly, it depends on the instrument, and of course, like everybody starts like at ground zero, right?
Mhm.
I think it takes the interest of learning the instrument first, and then you having to like pick it up every day, and then practicing like Twinkle Twinkle Little Star for 5 times until you get every single note correct. I think the difficulty, it all varies, honestly.
Yeah.
I think just some people are better at one instrument, and then there's another set of people who are just better at another instrument. So
Mhm.
I don't know. I think that's it's a tough question. I would say for
Yeah.
me, piano, like that was easier. I think probably like a 1 or 2 in the scale of 10, and then the guitar is like 7.
Really? See, that's
Yeah,
so interesting because, like, when I look at it, it's like and some people might look at it in a similar way, but it's like the piano, there's so many keys, and you have to, like, expand out and try to, do so many things with the different chords, and it's like, with a guitar, you have 6 strings, right? I think.
right,
I was
right.
guessing on that one, I was pretty sure. But, like, yeah, there's
No, you nailed it right on the head. Yeah, there's 6 strings on a guitar.
Yes. But it's just, like, really interesting because it's like, you would think that the size of, like, the keys and everything on the piano would be really, like, overwhelming versus, like, the guitar. Do you
Right.
think is it because of, like, the amount of chords that you have to learn on the 6 strings? Or for you, what's kind of challenging in learning guitar?
I think for me, right now, I guess is sort of finger placement. Because I
Mm.
mean, of course, like comparing like apples to oranges,
Yeah.
right? Where a piano, you have what C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and then you go back to C, which is basically an octave, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to keep it as simple as I can. But with a guitar, I'm still trying to learn the actual notes. I think it's what E B. Don't get me lying to you, but I'm it's like E B A something, and then like the last string on the guitar, I think it's E again.
Oh, okay.
So um, yes, it's not a lot of traveling when it comes to guitar, but each fret within like the guitar string, like within the guitar neck, plays this a different note.
Mm.
So I'm just trying to it's like trying to map something out in your brain, and it's difficult right now, but we're gonna get through it.
Yeah. Yeah, that is really interesting. Yeah, because with the piano, it's like the same thing over and over. It's just
Hmm.
different. And so you can replicate it and copy. And then
Yep.
yeah, with the guitar, there is a lot more ambiguity. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I see that. I was trying to teach myself ukulele and
Oh, okay.
recently, like literally yesterday, I was like, man, I got to get back on that. So it's funny that like we're talking about this because it's the same thing. Like I would go and I'm trying to
Hmm.
learn these different notes and I've gotten like, oh, I could play certain things, but there's so many different chords and variations. And I'm like, let me like move my
Yeah,
fingers
exactly.
around and get it, in awkward positions and stuff like that.
Exactly. Exactly. And I feel
Yeah.
like with the guitar, different finger placements can still play the same chord.
Mm.
Whereas like the piano, you sort of like have like a major, you can it's the same sort of finger placement. It doesn't matter where on the piano, it's gonna be the same.
Mm.
It's gonna be the same feeling.
Yeah. So how long I mean, how often are you practicing, for example, versus like well, I guess that's not really like a fair question, but I was going to say like what do you think is like a good amount of time to dedicate to an instrument in order to really learn it?
Well, I'll try to answer like I guess that first part of your
Yeah.
question. I I don't practice as often as I should,
Yeah.
but I try to get at least maybe an hour a day, not a day, maybe every other day,
Yeah.
just so long as I'm picking it up because I need to get into the habit of at least coming home, just trying to decompress from work, and then just picking up any sort of instrument, whether that be the piano or the guitar, and then just dedicating maybe an hour, hour and a half to just actually learning how to play it
Yeah.
or practicing for the piano because I already know how to play that. So.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's good. I mean, have you gotten a chance to play for like at least piano, for example? Have you gotten a chance to play and like record anything on the DAW or have you connected anything yet?
Yeah, so I'm glad that I started off with piano because, like I said, it's a little bit easier to come to coordinate that within the DAW
Mm.
because I can just plug it in and then whatever comes into my head, I can just play
Yeah.
it. Um, but I'm sorry, what was going to say? Question again?
um, yeah, if you've had a chance to like play, yeah, like really like play anything and get it recorded on the DAW. I think
Oh,
that was the
yeah, yeah,
question. I also am blanking
yeah.
out. I spit the
No,
questions and I'm like, it's once it's out, it's out.
no, you're fine. No, I think, yeah, I do get a chance to do that, and I think the cool part about like working in the DAW, I do that every day. So I
Oh,
guess,
okay.
yeah. So I mean, every chance I get, if there's something that popped up in the middle of the day, I'll sort of like hum it. I'll hum the melody in my phone,
Mm.
and then try to play it on the piano so I can actually record it into the DAW.
Okay. Yeah, that's really cool. And it's interesting
Hopefully, I answered that
oh, yeah, yeah,
correctly.
yeah, definitely. I mean, so for you, when you're coming up with these different songs, melodies, or lyrics, like how does that happen for you? Are you typically inspired by something that you experience, or is it like does it just get downloaded into your head? Like typically, what's that? I don't know. Like, how do you receive that?
It's a good bit of both, honestly. Sometimes I'll just be typing away at work, and then something just pops up in my head. I'm a big video gamer.
Oh, nice.
I hate to admit it, but I love video games. And sometimes, depending on the game that I play, I'll hear the musical like background. Probably just strolling through whatever is going on in the game, and I'll hear something. It's like, oh, that sounds a little interesting, and I'll try to work on that. I could be running at the park that's like what, might be a mile away, and something pops up right then and there. It all varies. I just go through life, and then sometimes it just pops in, and there it is.
Yeah. So, do you believe like so I was recently listening to a book by Victor Wooten. He's like a very renowned musician. He's won Grammys and a bunch of other awards and things like that. And he was really talking about how like music has a soul to it. Is that something that you can resonate with? Like, do you find that music has a soul and that, I don't know, maybe it's evolving or is changing? Uh,
Most definitely. I think that, yeah, music definitely sort of has a something resonates right within everybody. I could hear a song and it could be an entirely different meaning than like maybe Sam hears a song. We can hear the exact same thing, but something moves in me differently than in him. I think that, yeah, when it comes to different kinds of uh, when it comes to different kinds of songs and different kinds of feelings, it it
yeah.
just does its thing, you know. Music is oh man, it's a hard. I don't know. It's a hard thing. It's a hard thing to answer, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
because it is kind of like, yeah, it is kind of like subjective, like to the person who's like listening and experiencing it. Um, yeah, I've talked to some people who they only like certain types of music, or um, for me, like I'll hear lyrics and I'll hear different components of like a song and things like that. Sometimes I can like I'll visualize it. And then there are some people
mhm.
who are just like, oh, I don't know, I just hear, whatever, and like they don't connect to
Yeah,
the lyrics or the notes or anything like that.
yeah.
Um, I don't know. I guess through your own journey, like being in church and being raised with music, uh, what was I don't know, like, what was your kind of experience being taught music and learning how to feel into that? For people who maybe are trying to get in touch with their musical side or to listen or experience it in a different way, like, what do you think you went
Hmm.
through for that?
I don't know. I think music has in a way just presented itself in the hardest of times for me. Um, it truly saved my life. Honestly, I don't know where I would be without it, especially growing up in the church and being around it. Because, of course, I didn't have to do that, but something just in me just gravitated towards it. I think for somebody who's like trying to go through that sort of journey, I don't know. You sort of have to feel it out. I think a lot of like again, music doesn't really resonate with a lot of people the way it resonates with me and probably with you. But for somebody who is trying to go through it, just sort of feel it out and just you know travel your own path with what you're listening to. Because again, music is just it's flowing. It's a river. You know, it could it could take you one way. There could be a fork in the road or in the river, and it just you pick whichever way you want to go. I think that's the beauty in it. It's just infinite.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I guess, yeah, whoever is going through that journey, just follow your own way, follow your own path,
Mhm.
and just let the music take you
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
there. I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you had a chance to collaborate with other people on music?
Yeah. So there's a guy I met down here. He's from Michigan. His name is Killer P. Uh,
Wait,
we've
Killapi?
been Killer
Killapi.
P.
Okay.
Yeah. So we've been bouncing ideas back and forth. We actually came together and created one song that he's working on right now. It's in the process of like getting mastered and mixed right now. So I don't really want to say too much
Yeah,
about
yeah.
that, other than I'm just super excited for it to come out. um, there's another guy I met actually playing basketball. We just started talking how we met.
Yeah.
Just started talking about stuff, and then he's like, "Oh yeah, I make music." I was like, "Oh, get out of here!" Blah blah blah. So
Yeah.
we met like that. There's I think where I'm at right now, it's like Houston. It's a big like melting pot of just different
Mm.
talents and different people. And I was just fortunate enough to be around the music people. So
Yeah.
I guess music minds think alike.
That's awesome. So
Yeah.
so I guess when you start creating music actually, do you typically come up with the music itself, or do you come up with lyrics, or do you have a process for
I
that?
I think the cool part about where I'm at right now, dabbling into the music production and then also being a singer, I'm sort of doing everything. So coming up with the melody, coming up with the drum patterns, coming up with the lyrics, everything is me. Of course, I'm able to collaborate with somebody who just does mainly music production and he excels at it. I think for me, it's like because I am able to do both aspects, I can just put something together, like a nice little gift wrapped, you know,
Yeah.
present that I can just hand to people. So
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, cool. So if I ever need some music, I'll be like, "Yo, I need some
hit
stuff."
me up. I got you.
No, I
I
mean, that
got
would be
you.
really cool actually, is just learning that music production process. I know, like, I've always been curious into doing that because yeah, music is really fun, and, like, to our point earlier of, like, combining different styles and, like, pieces and elements, like, that's what makes music so unique. Um,
Hmm.
I mean, so one thing I went to it was kinda like a talk actually on AI and music a few, like,
Mm.
2 weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago. Have you dabbled with AI and music production?
Honestly, no. I'm a little bit scared of AI, honestly.
I feel you.
Yeah, honestly. Of course, I had friends like, "Oh, you?" I think there was one actually sort of recently. Drake came out with I don't know if you're sort of keeping up with like the whole Drake Kendrick Lamar. There's supposed to be going on
No.
with they're supposed to be beefing right now.
They're
But
supposed
Drake,
to be.
yeah, they're supposed. Look, I say supposed to be because
Yeah.
you know at the end of the day, that's a business and they're making more music.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, Drake actually came out with a diss track towards Kendrick Lamar, and he put Tupac's voice and Snoop Dogg's voice over his lyrics.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, that's pretty cool. But eventually we'll get to a point where AI was like, okay, what's to believe? Like, you know what I mean?
Mm.
I don't know. But to answer your question, I didn't really dabble into it.
Yeah.
I think it sort of takes out the creativity of the human, like of the person.
Mm.
Like if you're relying more on technology instead of like using your actual like I guess talents, not talents, but your own creativity. Who's to say like did you really create that?
Mhm.
But I also don't know anything about it, so I can't really say too much. So,
Yeah.
but that's just where I stand on that.
Yeah. No, I totally agree with you. It was really interesting, because the person that was hosting the workshop or the talk, I got a chance to talk to him a little bit, but he's going through all the different AI apps that are producing music. And there are apps where they do auto tuning. So for some singers, they're
Hmm.
like, "Oh yeah, I," they just sing into something and then it automatically corrects their voice. Then there's others that are like, yeah, I'm an artist, I'm a singer, but I don't know how to write lyrics." And so they just plug in like a few keywords and then it generates an entire song. Yeah, during that session, it literally, we used one app and it literally created an entire song, with the lyrics, all of the musical components to it, the vocals, and you're listening to it, and anybody who's not into music would hear that and be like, "Whoa, like that somebody made that," like
Right.
you can't really differentiate it if you don't have that ear for it. And so I'm totally on the same page as you, like with AI just everywhere, it's like, sure, it's great, it's coming into a lot of different industries and areas,
Yeah.
but to your point, it's taking away from that creativity. And I feel like a lot of people don't see that yet. They're like, yeah, it's going to make our lives easier. And I'm like, is it going to? Because now you're going to be taking away even just simple mundane tasks from the
Hmm.
individual. How
Hmm.
are they going to start thinking for themselves? And
Yeah.
it feels like AI is going to start taking I don't know, like our voices away. I was even thinking about consent and I was like, dude, if you're inputting your ideas, your voices, your I don't know, whatever creative input into this, it's learning from it.
Mhm.
It's kind of taking your essence away. Oh my god. Yeah, I can go down a whole spiel on that, but it was just crazy.
It's interesting. It's
Yeah.
interesting, and then like I mean, I don't I don't know what to think of it. Of course, like you just said, I mean there are positive aspects of it, but then like you said, what about the other side? Like even thinking to where you said that they generated the entire song. That company that created the AI, like going into a business mindset on the music side, maybe they can get sued because the artist actually didn't create that. It was the AI who created it. So, I mean, there are a whole bunch of gray areas that aren't really addressed, but it's just a lot of, oh yeah, this is good, or oh, this is bad. You sort of have to like narrow it down. I don't think a lot of people really want to take the time to do that, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot of
So I steer
Huh?
clear. I steer clear of it. I'm just so.
Yeah. I know. It's just like part of me was like, "Oh, that's really cool. Like I don't have to start over and I can use certain aspects of it to create music myself. So I don't have to spend so much time learning about it." But then again, I'm like, "Damn, but that takes away from like the whole point, the whole learning
Yeah,
experience."
it takes the fun out of it, if you ask me. So.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, I know. It's like I wanna give it a chance, but at the same time, I'm like, I'm thinking of the artists and seeing, like, how many of them are, like, enthusiastic about this or not,
Mhm.
just because I've seen some artists already kicking back, um, being like, "Oh, AI stole my art," or whatever. So it's like,
Mhm.
even that,
Mhm.
like, where's the barrier or how are we going to eventually find that medium where artists are being
Yep.
paid appropriately, where their art is like, copyrighted and trademarked on their end and like they're
Mhm.
compensated fairly. And I don't know, like almost at what point are artists of God, I'm going into like such negativity here. I'm like, at what
I
point
mean,
are artists actually going to be useful anymore for music producers,
exactly,
you know?
exactly. But I think that what you just said pretty much boiled down to the entire, I guess, big question. I think that's the big question right there. How is an artist useful? Not even doing music, but also the visual artist, a painter, because you can go into AI and they can create an entire video if they wanted to. Like it's it's a little wild. It's a little wild to think about.
Yeah, it is. But I don't know. I guess we gotta be positive and, like, support
Yeah,
each other along the way and be able to, like,
yeah.
educate ourselves on this stuff and just be aware of
Hmm.
what's happening and then, start, you know, piecing our voices into that and being like,
Right,
"Hey, by the way, what about this?" Like, make our
right.
voices more known and come together in that. Yeah. I mean, okay, so you use like DAW and different programming. I mean, like, do you use a lot of software to create your music or like what do you really need in order to create music on your end, for example?
Honestly, you can use anything. Honestly, you can use your voice if you wanted to. You can just start humming stuff.
Yeah.
But if you want to get into more of the professional stuff, yeah, you need a DAW. A lot of people tell you, so you need to buy all these different programs. Me personally, I used the programs that came with the
Mm,
DAW. So I use FL Studio, and there's so many DAWs out there. But that's the one I'm more comfortable with, and I think I got it for what, 290, 299. And it came with pretty much everything you needed to get started making music. It came with your pitch corrector for singers. It came with an actual tuner. So if you want to plug a guitar in and your guitar is a little out of tune, you can just put that in and it'll help you tune it. Um, it came with multiple sounds, so like drum sounds, trumpet sounds. What else? Violins. It comes with a lot.
that's awesome.
So I guess the good part is if you were looking into like getting into something like that, there are a lot of programs, and it's not just FL, so multiple programs that will actually give you the things that you need to start off, and then eventually on your musical journey, once you start making money or doing whatever you want to do with it, you can purchase the other things that you want. So it's nice. It's nice to be able to start doing that.
Yeah. Is there a particular
Yeah.
style of music that you think is harder to produce than others?
EDM.
Yeah?
I think
Huh.
EDM is like the harder because like it's so technical. If you ask
Mm.
me, I mean, I'll look at like some of these EDM artists, like they'll just sometimes record and then just post on like YouTube and they'll Instagram live their process. And I look at their screen and it is insane. I'm like, what are y'all even looking at? It's a lot. It's a lot to do.
Yeah.
It's a lot. So,
Huh.
and then not only that, like I feel like it can be harsh on the ear sometimes, depending on if you're designing your own sound. Like it, yeah. I think EDM is probably the hardest,
I mean,
the hardest thing.
so, like, what is in EDM that's so different from all of the other things? I understand the sound, but, like, conceptually, like, how is that so different?
I think it's more on the technology side as opposed to being on the like I'm playing an instrument sort of side.
Mhm.
You have different transitions, and depending on if you want that transition to be timed at a certain time, you have to go in and program it in that specific way
Mhm.
instead of just like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna pick up a guitar and play something real quick and record. EDM is just more on, it's very computer based, it's very computer heavy. Whereas like, I feel like other genres, even rap, sometimes I think I saw a video, this guy played the ukulele behind, who was it? This was recent. I forgot who was rapping, honestly, but
Okay.
he was playing the ukulele. He was playing the ukulele, and the guy was rapping over it. So
Oh,
it's yeah,
huh.
you can't do that. You can't play well, you can play ukulele in EDM, but who knows? Who knows? I haven't heard it yet.
Hey, maybe that could be, like, your challenge. You create, like, a EDM with, like, ukulele in there, and you're like, "Oh, yeah." Drop the beat, and then it's, like, actually
Drop the beat.
ukulele that just drops in.
That's a challenge. That is a
That would
challenge.
be
That is a
so
challenge.
interesting. Oh, man. So I guess when you're producing music, how much of it, because growing up with music, you're always hearing like, "Yo, I'm in the studio, I'm, like, doing this, I'm creating music and this and that." How much of that is still like that, where you really need to be in the studio with your collaborators in order to create music versus, "Hey, let's just hop on a Zoom call and then, like, do everything virtually." Like, is that a thing? Is that what is it
Yeah,
like now?
it's a good bit of both,
Yeah.
honestly. It's like I said, I'm fortunate enough to be in a place where there are musical people here, so it's like, hey, just come over to the apartment. We can work on some stuff. Whereas you're in Austin and I'm in Houston. It's 2.5 hour drive. I can't just be like, hey. I mean, I
Yeah.
can, but
There's some
I'm just gonna
commitment
mosey
there.
my way over here. Yeah, exactly. It's a bit more of a
Yeah.
commitment. But I think because of how technology is now, it's a little bit easier to be like, oh yeah, let me just hop on a Zoom call real quick, and then we can work on some stuff. But yeah, it's still happening all the time. Like, oh, I'm in the studio. I gotta get this stuff. Let's do it. So it happens a lot.
Yeah.
Still frequent.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty good. And so
Yeah.
for different types of musicians, how there's always going to be people who like to sing and like to do different things, but as an artist or somebody who's trying to expand out as an artist, how can they tell what their like authentic voice is like or their authentic talent? Like, are there little like telltale, I think that's the way you say it, like signs?
um, Man, that's actually a really good question. I think, yeah, I would say maybe there's telltale signs, but again, it all depends on what you're interested in. Um, I think a lot of people are, like you said, they're good at one particular thing and they're trying to dabble into something else. They may not be too good at it, but I think it's like the process of elimination. I think it's cool being able to um, experiment you know?
Mhm.
And I think that's why I like music so much, because it's endless, you know? But to for trial and error, it's more on what you're good at. You know, I probably never played I play the drums. So, what's a good instrument? Like trumpet. I've never played the trumpet
Yeah.
before, but who's to say that I'm not good at it? I never tried, right? Um, Once you start playing it, it's like, oh, I'm good at it. I picked it up. I started playing it. It's a natural talent in a sense. I just never got to it. So I think the journey is more so trying all these different things and figuring out what sticks. Does that make any
Yeah.
sense?
Yeah, no, it does. Yeah.
Um, yeah. So like I feel like with genres too, I didn't really try country, but I've sung for multiple people who listen to country. Like, oh, you could probably sing country. I just never tried it yet.
Yeah.
You know, same thing with you. You play the ukulele. I mean, you never tried the violin. Maybe who's to say you're good or not a violin? You know, it's like the same sort of thing.
Yeah.
But that's the beauty of the musical journey. You're just constantly going through all these different avenues and just figuring out what avenue you like the most.
Hmm. And so this will be kind of interesting too. So do you think now I'm going to tie back into your artist name. Do you
Mm-hmm.
find that the artist persona like comes before you find your artistic talent, or do you think that that comes after you start diving into that?
I think, and I think it comes after. And but I can only speak for myself. I know a lot of people they had it before they even really knew
Hmm.
their musical journey was even going to start. You know, sometimes it can just be a childhood nickname. You know, they didn't even know anything about music, and then that childhood nickname stuck with them until they started to develop that musical journey and going through their musical, you know, story, and that nickname came with them.
Hmm.
I think for me, like same thing with me, like Brullah, it was more of my brother. He didn't know how to say brother at all.
Oh,
So he
yeah.
just called me Brullah until maybe he was young. So I don't know when he started calling me Stanley, but
Yeah.
that's what he used to call me. So that sort of helped me, you know, develop my name. But I already knew music before that. So
Mhm. Yeah. And so how do you think I mean, like, do you really need to adopt another well, I guess I don't know how many like celebrities and artists actually change their name, but what do you think is the reason why some people take on like the pseudonym or like uh this artist name?
hmm. I feel like honestly, it could be a good, like a multitude of reasons,
Mhm.
honestly. Whether that be like identity, like trying to protect their own identity. Maybe it's just, like you said, a persona that they took on and they feel more powerful with people chanting this name as opposed to their actual name. It, it all could vary, honestly.
Hmm. And so how do you
Yeah.
think that your name has influenced your your artistic persona?
My name, honestly, I don't think it really changed that much, honestly.
Hmm.
I've always, like I said, I've always identified with music,
Yeah.
and whether I went by Brullah or by Stanley, it was always going to be me. It was always going to be me.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that.
So,
Do you think for artists who are even trying to come up with a name or a persona, like how do you think they should go about that? Like, do you think that artists go through this type of journey to find that? I know sometimes you mentioned like, hey, it can just be added on when you're a kid and it sticks with you. But if they're
mhm.
like in this and they're like, yeah, I'm in my art. I want to identify as like something else. Like, what's a cool name or what's this persona that I want to adopt? Like, how are they developing their personal brand or their image, for
Right.
example?
I could probably attest to it can be both your journey in your life, and then also you just come up with something and you stick with it and you don't change it,
Mhm.
you know? Um, I think Post Malone, right? Just an artist that I know. I think he developed his name, Post Malone, in a Google. He went through Google. Yeah, he went
Yeah,
through
Google
Google and
name
like did
generator.
artist names. Yeah, artist, almost like some AI stuff.
Yeah.
What's a good artist name? Blah blah blah. And he put Post Malone came up, and that's the name he stuck with.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I think when it comes to that, you just sort of have to stick with it and make sure that, like you said, that is your brand. Because music, especially being in front of people, you're branding yourself. Like when I'm singing or doing whatever, I'm Brullah. Like that is me.
Yeah.
I'm not Stanley. I'm Brullah. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
No, that is cool. Huh. I just had a question that like completely popped out of my head. um, oh, what was that? Oh, actually, um, yeah. I was thinking about it, like because like you're saying that in developing this, and sometimes what you noted earlier, like some artists will take on a completely different persona to protect who they are, or sometimes it's to build confidence into something else. Uh, how much do you think like emotion really ties into music and then the quality of your music?
Mm. I think ooh, I know some people who would like die for it. I think that's how much they are connected with their music. A lot of, and I think that's another thing too, because um, especially when you're creating, you're sort of giving a piece of yourself to others. Like you're going through this journey. I know a lot of people, they write out their emotions, they write out their trials, they write out everything, and then they sort of put it out to the world. So it could be like a huge emotional attachment whenever somebody's putting something out there. Especially for me, I think um, my stories, and not also my stories, but other friends' stories who don't really have a voice for themselves. It could be a huge emotional attachment to it.
Yeah. And do you find that those pieces that have more emotion to it are things that resonate with other people the most, or do you find that sometimes it can be too much emotion for other people to even connect with?
It can be a huge it can be too much for some people sometimes, especially if it resonates so well with them that they felt like
Mhm.
they experienced it as well. That's how you know you got a good song. If you can have a song be um what's the word I'm looking for? What is the word I'm looking for? Yeah, if you can have a song that everybody can,
Or like
understand,
resonate with,
um,
or oh,
resonate,
okay.
yeah, they can resonate
Yeah.
with, um, you have something. I feel like, especially the human journey, we all sort of go through the same things, right? Whether that comes to like love, you probably had your first love, and it broke your heart, blah blah blah. I think that's how like Taylor Swift is so good. She
Mhm.
writes songs that everybody can resonate with. And I don't want to say everybody. I think a good majority of her fan base can probably pick something out in their head that they went through and be like, okay, I understand what she's saying.
Mhm. And so how often are because I love lyrics and I love playing with words and different analogies, but how
Yeah.
often do you find that I guess like writers or lyricists are writing very um I guess like realistic to the term versus like having multiple meanings to their lyrics?
You mean like realistic as in uh like their actual storyline, as
Mhm.
opposed to like playing with like, oh, okay, so I guess I'm trying to understand the question. So
Oh, yeah.
like a rapper, right? So like a rapper, he goes in and he says all these different things, but his play on words are a little bit different,
Yeah.
as opposed to being like, hmm, I don't know. I think everybody. I mean, even like the rapper, like with their play on words, it could resonate with somebody who truly understands what they're saying. You know, I don't. It can be. I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. No, it's interesting because I hear some lyrics and some songs, and when you read it, it sounds like it can mean one thing. But then when you
Hmm.
take a step back and you look at it from like a different lens, you're like, "Oh, wait, are they actually talking about this?" And it's like a whole other
Right.
level or a whole other dimension to what it is that they're trying
Right.
to relate. So I'm curious to see if a lot of artists are intentional about that or if they're literally like I went to space. And it's like, okay, but what does that mean? You know, like, did you literally go to space or are you talking about like the space around you type of, like that kind of play in
Exactly.
words? Like, I wonder how many
Yeah.
artists like do that versus just being very like literal about their words.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I think in a good majority of them can be very literal, but then I think it also takes a. I mean, it also has a lot to do with the person listening to it. Like going back to what we were saying, like everybody listens to music differently. Like you said, I can go to space, but somebody who, out in wherever, he's like, oh, probably had a really bad trip and he went to
Yeah,
space.
exactly.
Or, he went out and just enjoyed like his time alone or her time alone. And
Yeah.
I went to space. I enjoy, like you said, I enjoyed the space around me. It all depends on the listener. I think the artist is the one who's just like, relaying the message. Doesn't matter how he's feeling or how she's feeling. They just relay that message, and it really is the up to the person listening to it to really decipher and figure out what they're trying to say.
Yeah. How do you typically like to write?
I like to write based off of honestly how I'm feeling and what I experience.
Yeah.
Um, it can it can vary a lot. Sometimes I'm just mad and I'll just write whatever comes to mind. And I know it has something to do with anger. So I put it out there and then I'll let some of my friends listen to it. It's like, did you really mean this? And I have to explain, no, I really just said that,
Yeah.
Um, and then sometimes I'll actually sit down and I'll put pen to paper and I'll write some stuff out and it can really have more depth. And somebody can be like, did you really mean to say that? And yeah,
Yeah.
it all depends.
Yeah. So it is kind of like just whatever comes to you in that. Hold on, my cat, because I can hear her in the microphone. Yeah, she's my co-producer on the show. She likes to
Nah,
check
I
in and be
got
like, "Are
you.
you doing the work properly?" or like, "What's up?"
It was a pleasure meeting her. I'm just good to it's good to see two brains work at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. Xena, yeah, she'll check in every once in a while. Yeah.
No.
Oh, yeah, that's really cool. I mean, like how how often do you find that you're like creating music and like allowing yourself to fully express into music? Like are there ever times where you hinder yourself from that and you're like, I don't actually want to put that out? How often do you feel like you have to share it with others in order for it to be like fully released, you know?
It's almost like a teeter totter.
Yeah.
There are days where I'm like, oh my god, this sounds so good. I got to put this out like right now, right now, right now. And
Yeah.
then there are other days where it's like, I don't know if I really want people to hear this.
Yeah.
I think it's just a matter. I think right now for me, it's like, okay, whatever I'm feeling, I'm just going to go ahead and put it out there. Um, yeah, it really is a balance for me. It's really a balance. I think there are some things that I could write and maybe too personal. And I'm like, okay, let me just go ahead and try to change this up. Or it can be like, I don't care. I'm just going to go ahead and do it. Yeah, it's all about how I'm feeling within that moment, honestly.
Yeah.
It's balance with myself.
A balance with yourself. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it really is. And it's like the release of attachment as well to it because I've personally done that with like certain writings and things that I've created, but like I hear a lot of other artists too, or people who are aspiring artists and they're like, I want to share
Hmm.
my work, but I'm like too scared to share it. And what if it's not good? And like, they go through that process of that back and forth. And
Yeah.
like for you, what would be like maybe some tips or advice for people who are just like, yeah, I just don't want to like share my work yet, but they want to.
just put it out there, you know? There, of course, there's going to be butterflies. It's butterflies with everything. I
Yeah.
mean, even me doing stuff now, there's still butterflies. You know, you're not really going to know how the person listening to it, how they're going to interpret it. You know, whether they like it or not. Who cares? At the end of the day, this is your work. This is something that you wanted to do. So you just have to be confident in what you do, and don't really worry about what people think, because everybody has their own opinion towards anything. You know, some people have opinions as to how they put toilet paper on the toilet paper roll. So it doesn't matter. Their opinion is irrelevant. It just matters. The only thing that matters is, do you like it or not? And if you like it, go ahead and do it.
Yeah. So how do you put your toilet paper on that roll? On the toilet paper roll?
Well, it's supposed to be on the outside. There's a patent.
It's got to be on
It's
the
supposed to be on
outside?
the
The paper going
outside.
outside?
It has to be on the outside.
Really?
I feel like people on the inside, you might. I have to watch. I have to keep like all of my eyes on you, all four of them. I wear glasses, but they're not on right now. So
I don't see it yet, but I'm gonna call you out. So that's interesting, because I know this is like a super random tangent, but like I read that when you put the toilet paper on the inside, you actually
Mhm.
waste less paper because you're not pulling so freely. And so,
Really,
yeah, so that's apparently like a little business hack or something that I read about, like what hotels do to maximize their profit and how they use things. Is like they put it
Hmm.
on the inside, because then people have to kind of reach out, and there's more of a role that oh my god, like the paper has to go through more like space, and so it takes up
Okay.
less. I don't know, they pull out less material. That's all I learned, and then that's how they save money versus, like, if it's fully out, like, it's easy to just yank it and then pull out a lot of paper quickly.
Got you. Okay. Okay. Hmm.
Not trying to, like, argue with
Interesting.
this,
That's
but, like,
interesting.
I read that
That's
and I was like,
interesting.
"Huh, interesting." Oh, man.
Wow. Okay. That's something to keep in mind.
Yeah, it's interesting, but, like,
Yeah.
everybody just
If I'm starting to run out on anything, I'll just flip it around.
yeah, seriously.
Yeah. I'll just flip it.
Yeah, and then there's the whole conversation of, like, toilet paper, baby wipes. Like, you gotta use both, not use both, whatever. It's like the little things in life. Yeah. Oh, man. I mean, and so where do you kinda see your musical journey going?
Ooh, that is a good question. That's a really good question. The sky's the limit, honestly.
Yeah.
I feel like everybody, especially in the position I'm in, they dream big. Um, and they have every right to, as do I. Like, I have every right to, I'm going to take over the world. I'm going to take over the world. This is something that I want to do my entire life. I'm taking it over.
Yeah.
But I have to scale down sometimes right now, at least right now, because if you have too big of a goal, for me, it's sort of harder to like get towards your end goal. My end goal is to take over the world. I think the
Yeah.
goal for me right now is to get this song mixed, record this part. Like, I have to scale it down, because at the end of the day, these small scales are the steps to getting me to taking over the world.
Yeah. Yeah, that is interesting, because it is like you have to have some you can feel free to correct me too, but like how much does structure and organization like play into the creativity process for you?
I feel like the creativity, it has it has some sort of structure, but it's not as structured as you think it is. Like, again, everything, especially when it comes to music, can be feeling. Most of it is feeling, and feeling has no structure. You can go out and something pops up and it's like, okay, I'm feeling this type of way. Let me go ahead and put that into the audio. When it comes to structure, I think that's more the business side. Does that make
Yeah,
sense? I don't know.
yeah. Like, uh, because that's always been like an interesting thing, because it's almost like, how often are people like, I have to pencil in creativity time, and then I pencil it in
Mhm.
at this hour every single week, and then I gotta stick to that versus, oh, I just create when I feel inspired to. So that's
Hmm.
like, I guess it varies person to person as well, but
I see what you're saying,
yeah.
and yeah, and honestly, and I'm gonna take back what I just said. Yes, that is a thing. That it's definitely a thing, especially for somebody who has to juggle different jobs and then life, because life happens, right? But if you want to do it, you have to be able to set this time like 6:30. As soon as I get home, I'm going to go ahead and get this stuff straight. I'm going to mix. I'm going to master. I'm going to do something that gets me towards where I want to go.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, there is a lot of structure. There is a lot of structure when it comes to like revolving your life around something like this.
Hmm. Yeah. And so
Yeah,
how
especially if you want.
huh?
Oh, I was about to say, especially if you want it.
Oh,
Sorry, I
if
didn't
you
mean to
want
cut
it.
you
Oh my
off.
gosh, no, it's okay. Like, I've cut you off too, like not intentionally, so it's no big deal. Um, yeah, no, that's really interesting. I mean, like, do you think that well, I guess you kind of already answered that earlier because I was gonna say like the whole phases again and almost like adding time or structure into the phases of creation, to be like, okay, yeah, I want to finish this song by this time frame. Like I have different friends who are into writing or painting and drawing and things like that. And so it's interesting to hear like some of their processes. They're like, yeah, I want to finish this script by this time frame. But sometimes like they hit like a creator or like a writer's block.
A block. Yep.
Yeah. How often do you experience that?
Too many times.
Really?
Oh yeah, it happens all the
Mm,
time, all of the time. Yeah, I'll sit on the project and I'm just listening and listening and listening and listening. I'm like, okay, what does this need?
mm,
Um, where am I going to go with this? It happens one too many times, and I think that's, like I said, it's just a part of creativity. But you gotta go. I have to bust through that block.
yeah.
I have to, because if you sit there on one thing, it's stopping you from getting to the next part.
So what is
It's stopping you
Mhm.
from, oh, good.
Oh, no, go ahead, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say it's stopping you from getting to your next goal.
Mm. And what
Yeah.
does that, like, block feel like for you?
Hmm. It feels like, oh, man.
I mean, if you can describe it, I don't know, yeah.
Almost. If I had to put a word on it, I would say like stagnant.
Mm,
Like it doesn't feel like you're moving. Like I feel like I could speak for every artist, whether that be, a painter or a journalist, or like a journalist or writer,
mhm.
or a musician. You get that aha moment as soon as you get what you want to get done. Like as soon as you get that, um, oh man, as soon as you get that feeling,
Yeah,
it's an aha moment. As soon as
yeah.
you get that feeling, it's like, oh, that's exactly what I was looking for. That's exactly what I needed.
Mm.
That once you have that, I feel like it's just smooth sailing from there, and then you hit another block. That's just a part of
So you just go
that's
running
just a
and you
part
hit
of
a wall and
creativity.
you're like, "Oh,
You
wait,
hit
now I gotta
another wall.
navigate," and then eventually just
Mm-hmm.
hop over.
Yep. Yep. You gotta jump through those hurdles.
Yeah. I mean, do you do anything to help you overcome those blocks?
Uh, just try to walk away from it for a second.
Mm,
You know, I feel like as much time as you put into something, I feel like you should also have some time to take a break from it. I feel like that's healthy.
mm,
Yeah, so I'll walk away from it and I'll just let it sit. When I mean let it sit, I mean like a good 30 minutes. I'll take a walk. I'll walk at the park, do like a mile or so, and just come back to it and it's like, okay, all right, I don't know why I was stressing about this part. I already got it. Let's just go to the next part.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Because I hear some people, they'll be like, yeah, I haven't worked on my piece in like years, or I've put it aside for months or weeks because I just I can't overcome that block. And
Yeah.
so
I have that too. Don't get me
yeah.
wrong. I have that. There are definitely some projects on my computer that I haven't even touched in probably like 2 or 3 years.
Ah.
Um, but that's just because honestly, I wasn't feeling it. I don't know. Like 2 years ago, Stanley was definitely feeling it, but now it's like, it's whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's interesting too, is how often are you creating something new when you experience a roadblock with one particular project?
Hmm. Almost ever so often.
Mm.
I think I know my brain now enough to where it's like, okay, if I stay away from this project, I'm not ever going to touch it again. But if there's sometimes where I will create something and it's like, okay, maybe the creativity of this part helped me with going back to what I needed on this part. So now I'm back to this, and then I also got a new little nugget, as you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like it's like trying to find like your road.
Yeah.
Sometimes you'll hit a dead end. You'll have to make a turn. And then once you hit that turn, I was like, okay, maybe that wasn't really a dead end. I just had to cut through this part, and here I am at the end, which is for me a song.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Yeah. I mean, okay. So then, so this is an interesting one. What if somebody just keeps hitting those roadblocks, or they think that they're hitting roadblocks? Like, how can you tell when it's a roadblock versus maybe perfectionism? Like, how often do you experience perfectionism before releasing something?
Ooh, that a lot,
Yeah.
a lot, a lot, a lot. I wouldn't necessarily say I'm a perfectionist because nothing's really perfect. But there are times where I'm like, okay, this isn't right. I'm not getting nowhere with this. For me, I'll do like a phone a friend.
Oh, yeah.
you know, yeah, I'll call Sam sometimes. He'll come down and it's like, hey, let me play this for you real quick and see what you think about it. And then he'll give me his ear and he'll be like, okay, probably take this part out and then add this. And
Mm.
then lo and behold, boom, we're out of that block. Um, sometimes it's good to have a second opinion. Not all the time, but
Yeah.
a good time. You have to trust the person.
Yeah.
So for me, that helps out a lot with breaking those blocks.
Mm. And so at what point do you, because you noted you had some projects from maybe like 2 years ago, or projects that you start but you never really like fully finish. How do you know when to let a project go?
Hmm. Man, that is a really good question. That is a really good question. I think I'm a big I'm a big believer in don't let it go.
Mm, yeah.
Don't I wouldn't I like I said, I have projects that I worked on 2, 3 years ago, and sometimes I'll be like, I wonder what happened to that project.
Yeah.
And then I go back to it and I created something out of that, that roadblock. Um, I feel like if you're deleting something, you're sort of, I don't know. If you're deleting it, you're deleting an opportunity.
Mm,
You're deleting an opportunity.
yeah.
So if I were to delete something and say, I'm gonna let this project go, who's to say that maybe I took a break from it and I created something and that helped me get to the next big hit, which was the track that I worked on 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't really believe in like letting projects go. It was obviously something that you were feeling within the time, and maybe that can help you maybe that project can help you get to your project that you're working on now.
Mm,
There could have been some sort of technical thing that you could have done that you did back then that can help you where you're at now.
yeah.
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 So I don't, I don't, I don't know. I don't really believe in like letting projects go. If you,
Yeah. Huh. Yeah, that's interesting because then it like uh the other question I had in my mind is like, well, how long do you hold on? Because what if you have just a number of different projects that maybe are on hold or you were like, man, like it's just not there yet, you know? But it's like how much time do you let go yeah, do you let go by before you like revisit it or you're like, yeah, it's just going to remain, in draft
yeah,
mode, you
collective
know?
dust. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm. I don't know. I have to get
Yeah.
back to you on that one, honestly.
No, that's
yeah,
okay. Yeah, because I've
yeah,
always thought about it with, like, painters, for example. It's like, a lot of painters, you go and you're, like, painting a lot of stuff, and in my head, I'm like, "What do you do with all these canvases?" Like,
right,
and I know with
right.
music and things like that, it's a little easier because you have, like, in audio, electronic capture, and this and that, but, like, for like, artists who have more material things or physical things to hold on to, I'm just like, "What do
Hmm.
you do with all that stuff?" You know?
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
That is true. That is true. I mean, I don't know, because like even with some of the artists that I've met here, uh, they'll paint something and they'll draw something and they didn't like it. They still put it out and somebody resonated with it and loved it. And they even went back and did their what like they used a different stroke pattern for this one, but for the new project, they hit a block and then there's like, oh, maybe I should try the stroke pattern I tried with this previous project. And then they made something completely different with this new project. So I don't know. It's like an encyclopedia, I'm not an encyclopedia, but like an archive, you
Yeah.
just go back into your archive and figure out what you did.
Yeah.
And it may not have worked right then and there, but it could work for your possible future projects. And it can also vice versa. And vice versa. So
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, I
yeah.
like that. And then, like, yeah, you just connect to the moment again, but, like, from a detached level. Yeah.
Yep.
No, that is really cool. Hmm. Yeah, I mean, do you see your creativity affecting like your day to day and how you maybe like communicate or how you problem solve? Like, do you ever see that um I guess those skill sets or traits in comparison to other people, you're like, "Oh, yeah, I'm actually, like, really good at seeing this," versus
Hmm.
other people, like, they seem to
Yeah.
not perceive it in this way or whatever like that, like
Yeah.
yeah?
Yeah. It definitely helps me in my day to day. I think it gives me a different sort of confidence. You know,
Mm,
I, I can do something that a lot of people can't really do, and I hate to say it, but at the end of the day, it's sort of the truth. Whereas, like a painter, he probably has a different confidence knowing that he painted this, and I can't draw worth anything. Um, it also helps with like it's a different thought process. That roadblock, whatever, that fork in the road or that dead end that you hit and you busted through it, that could be like that same sort of thought process. I can take that into my work. Like I could take that into like playing basketball or what. It doesn't matter
mhm.
where I go with it. I know for a fact I can somehow creatively get my way through this situation and get to the end goal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, yeah, it's beautiful. Like the creative mind.
Yeah, it is.
You can apply it into any situation
Have you
for me.
No, that's yeah, and that's really good. And actually, I wonder, so I've heard of some other people who experience, like, synesthesia. Have you ever, like,
Hmm.
heard of that or dabbled into that? So some people, they're able to see, like, colors with certain notes, or if they see certain things, it's like or, like, maybe they
Oh,
hear music when something comes up, like, it's like, Yeah, it's almost like a crossover of senses, which is really
I got you.
interesting.
I've definitely heard that.
Yeah.
I think I read something about that too. This girl, she was at a concert and she saw like brown, and then like there was another guy. He saw this. He heard this song, and he saw the color blue. I know exactly what you're talking about. I never knew the technical term for it.
Yeah. Have you ever experienced anything like that?
No. No, no. Me personally, I have not. I wasn't blessed with that.
Yeah, same.
It'd be honestly, I think I'd be a little freaked out
Yeah? Like, in what way?
if you ask
What do
me.
you think?
I don't know. Like I just go like I don't know. I'm just probably listening to some music, cleaning my apartment or something, and then I'm all of a sudden starting to see green. It's like what's wrong with my eyes? I don't know. I don't know. But it's cool. I feel like that's a cool thing to like have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a cool thing to have. I think, like, sort of segueing.
Mhm.
I don't know the technical term for it too, but I don't know if you've experienced this before. Like, you're listening to music or something, and you like get chills or you get like
Yeah.
goosebumps. Apparently, like a lot of people don't experience
Wait,
that.
really?
Yeah, I think I don't know the number for, but I think like 62 or 61% of people they don't
What?
they don't know what that feels like. Yeah, it's sad, but
Yeah, I'll get, like, chills and all like, I went to a concert. Actually, I'll share this artist with you, well, artist, it's called, like,
Mhm,
Black Violin, and I went to their concert and live, and they're into, like, classical music and violin, but they integrate a lot of the
mhm.
hip hop components to it, and I freaking
Okay.
loved it. I was in the concert and I was like, "Oh my god," like, I was just, like, coming to life with a lot of that, and so yeah, like, yeah, I wonder your take on that style of music. I'll share that later, but, like, that's just, like, so like, why do you think some people are more sensitive to feeling music? Like, is it just because we're I don't wanna say we're more emotional beings, but, like, I guess maybe we
Mhm.
are more feeling, or do you think that there's something else to it?
I don't know, and I feel like it's going back to what you said. Like, music has a soul. Like the question you had earlier in the podcast. It's like some people just they can feel that soul, and some people can't,
Mhm.
and it's sort of sad, but
Yeah,
I don't know. I feel like just the people just feel it.
yeah. Man, that's so
It's something that can't be explained. Yeah, something that can't be explained.
wow. Yeah, have you ever okay, so I going back to a point you noted earlier how you're, like, a visual person as well.
Mhm.
Like, have you ever had, like, visions or, like, I don't know, like, how does, like, music affect you visually, or has it ever affected you, like, visually and how you perceive? Does that make sense? Like, it's kinda different than what
Yeah.
we were talking about before. I'm just trying to see if, like, it affects, I don't know, anything else.
Like visually, not really.
Mm.
When I say visually, like I'm a visual thinker.
Hmm.
Does that make sense? I don't
Yeah.
know. Like I'm terrible. Like, for example, I'm terrible with names.
Oh, yeah, but you're
Terrible.
good with faces, right?
I'm fantastic with
Yes.
faces. Like, I'm really good with faces. I can remember a face that I've seen like 6 or 7 years ago.
Mhm.
Probably saw him one time, but say, I know I met you
Yeah,
before. And then like directions, right?
yeah.
Don't ask me where this McDonald's is on wherever road. I'm not gonna know. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
remember. But I could tell you where that McDonald's, like, what's around it.
yeah,
You know, like I could tell you that there's a Wendy's right beside it, and then Raising Cane's like 2 blocks down. That's how I think.
yeah.
Um, but when it comes to like the musical stuff,
Mhm.
I don't really see like like colors. Like that's not.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, like, how about, like, with invoking, like, memories or things like that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh. Like I can hear a song and it'll take me back to like a better, like a better time
Yeah.
or a less stressful time. Um, like I remember there, I just thought about this, and it was the most random song. But anyway, I heard it, just through my like on Spotify or whatever, and it sort of brought me back to when I used to like dance with my family. We
Yeah.
had like this big, we had the big family room. We pushed this like coffee table had wheels. We pushed it out the way and we played on our stereo and we just be dancing the entire night. And it brought me back to that. And I was like, okay, it was
Oh.
better, better times. I wish I was a kid.
Yeah,
So
I know,
yeah, like
right?
it makes me want to, go back. So, but yeah, when it comes to stuff like that, most
Yeah.
definitely.
Do you think a lot of people sense that? Like, feel that way
I,
too?
I, I think so.
Mhm.
I think so. It's like smells, right? You smell a particular smell, and it takes you back to where you smell that smell again, or it was the first time you saw it, and you just have like a positive connection with that smell. I think it's the same thing with music.
Yeah.
Like there's been plenty of times where I was driving with my mom, and she played "Strawberry Letter 23." I think it's by I forgot who wrote it, but she turned it up. She's like, "Oh, I haven't heard this song since I was like,
Yeah.
like a little kid." And I was like, "Really?" She's like, "Yeah." I feel like it just happens, to everybody.
And,
I don't
and I'm
know.
actually just, like, curious, but, like, do you dream at all?
Yeah,
Yeah. Like, do you
yeah,
remember your
but yeah,
dreams?
I remember. It's the most random dreams too. I don't know why I remember them, but I can remember like I had one dream where I was like performing on stage, and then Chris Brown came in and we started
Ah,
talking. He's like, "Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow," and I was like,
that's
"What?"
awesome.
Yeah, it's weird. And
Yeah.
then I also there was another one where I was like brushing my teeth in the mirror and my teeth fell out, and I was like,
Oh, I've had those dreams.
"Yeah." It's like, why do I remember these? And it's I don't know. Like I had one. I don't know. Now you got me
No,
talking.
that's good.
I was like I was getting chased by a tiger one time in my dream. I
Ooh,
don't.
yeah.
It was weird. It was weird. Didn't. Oh my god, it was weird. Didn't. It was weird. It was weird. It was
Wait,
weird.
do you ever okay, so I dream a lot. I'm really into, like, understanding dreams and this and that, and so I'm always interested in learning, like, how other people perceive dreams. Because 'cause I've met plenty of people who are like, "I don't dream. I don't remember any of my dreams," and I'm like, "Really?"
Hmm.
Because I'm, like, in another world when I'm in my dream.
Right.
So, like, for you as an artist, like, do you experience your dreams in color or black and white, or does it fluctuate? Do
Hmm.
you remember?
If it's something I remember fully, it's in color.
Okay.
It's almost like I was watching a movie. Like I have no control over my dream. I just know I'm there and it's happening.
Yeah.
There are some dreams where it's like, okay, I don't know why it's like a little segment, and that's like black and white. It's
Oh,
weird. It's
really?
weird, but yeah. But most of the dreams I can remember vividly, it's in color. Like I remember exactly what shirt I was wearing when I met Chris Brown. I remember exactly,
Oh my
it's
gosh,
like, yeah,
maybe that's like
yeah.
a premonition, like maybe that's a
I don't. I'm gonna pray it is.
that'd
So
be dope. I like, I've had, like, premonition or, like, precognitive dreams where it's like I've dreamt something and then it, like, happens in real life.
really,
Yeah. So, you never know, like, maybe it could just be associated with, like, okay, yes, that's part of my big, world takeover picture where it's like that's where you see yourself having taken over the world when you're collaborating with artists as big as, like, Chris Brown. So maybe it could be associated
right?
to that, but hey, why not play with the idea of like, yeah, maybe you're like envisioning your future of like what could happen. You
Yeah,
never know.
exactly, exactly. I think what the worst case scenario is that you actually get there,
Yeah, exactly. Like,
or the best case scenario, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
best case scenario, you get there and then you're
yeah,
meeting all these other people. Why not?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's so cool. Have you ever heard like music in your dreams? Like, so like, like do you feel, do you smell, do you taste, like hearing, like do you have connection to all your senses in your dreams?
No, not really. I
Mm.
only just see it. Um, I can hear it sometimes, but it's not really like music.
Mm.
It's not really music. It's really mostly like me seeing. I know, like I can see it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever been inspired by any of your dreams to like write your music or like
Yeah.
used your dreams in your creative endeavors?
I'm gonna say
Yeah.
no, not really, because of how weird they are.
Oh,
Like
okay.
I don't. Well, maybe that'll be my challenge. I'm going to, because
Mm,
like I said, I got chased by a tiger in one of my
yeah.
dreams. I don't know if anybody can really like connect with me getting chased by a tiger in my dream, you know? But that could be like a cool little challenge for myself
Mhm.
to like sort of write something that could potentially connect with everybody. And I was really writing about my dream. So
Yeah.
yeah.
That's cool. I've had interactions with lions in my dream. Yeah.
Lions,
Lions. Yeah. Uh,
lions and tigers and
I
bears. Oh
know where
my.
are the bears at. So, yeah, I mean, like, that's so interesting because it's like, I love hearing what other people dream about. And it's like, I have a background in psychology and sociology, but like, I'm also in my spiritual realm too. And it's like, I love that creative and like spiritual analysis of what it is that we
Yeah.
experience. I mean, like, yeah, I don't know. Like, do you find that like your religion or spiritual background like has influenced the way that you perceive music? Well, obviously, like you grew up in the
Oh.
church and things like that, but like is there
Mhm.
ever I don't know if like divine intervention is really like the thing, but like
Mhm.
yeah, I don't know if I really have like the right question for this. Yeah.
I I guess I can say uh, well, like you mean like how has it like influenced more so, or just like I don't know, I'm
Yeah,
trying to help
yeah,
you
like yeah, like has it
yeah,
influenced you and um
like in the spiritual side.
mm, yeah.
Well, yeah, I have to. Well, yeah, I have to feel it in my being to be like, okay, I really like this,
Yeah.
or I could really, because sometimes I'll say some stuff and I don't even really connect with it. I think those are the projects where I'm like, okay, let me try something else. That's where that block comes in. But I don't know, the musical spirit and then my spirit can like be like and aligned with each other, and that's something I really really like, and I want to put it out there.
Yeah.
So I think on the spiritual, like the spiritual connection is very influential. If that answered the question.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's almost like, if you start disconnecting from like your spiritual side, like how would that affect your music in a way?
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Mm, yeah. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I love all that stuff. Like, like if you ever have a weird dream or you're ever like, man, I'm stuck on this. What do you think it need? Like, you ever need a different perspective on stuff? Like, I love going into all of that and like exploring it.
Okay,
And
awesome.
yeah, because I'm like, I could totally ask like a million other questions on like the dream state and how that could influence creativity and this and that. But like, that's like a whole other session.
Well, that sounds interesting, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, it really is because it's just like, you know, um, I've kind of nerded out in being like, okay, is there a way to, like truly connect, get into lucid dreaming? Like, can you heal? Can you problem solve like actively while you're in the dream state? And I know some people like
Hmm.
they do pursue this, they have done this, like that's a way of hacking the system or matrix and their experience.
Yeah,
And so I always like I'm just wondering like, yeah, I wonder like if artists are doing this and if it would impact their work in a different way if they were more like active in their dream state.
yeah. No, honest. I think. Well, I don't know, and I think that probably could be the difference between somebody who writes okay music and somebody who writes really, really, really good music. Um, if they can tap into that sort of um, like subconscious
Mhm.
state within their minds. I don't know. That's interesting. That is interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Huh.
Cause then I wonder if you can actively go in and lucid dream, so, like, you're an active participant, you can control everything. Like, I wonder if you could just
Hmm.
go in and be like, "Why am I blocked?" And then, like, you problem solve it while you're sleeping, and then you can
Right.
easily like get out of that block if you've been stuck there for a while.
And then take it into the conscious
Yeah.
mind. Hmm. Hmm. I have to learn how to lucid dream. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, I'll see if I find some stuff, I'll send it over to you because I just think it's, like,
Okay.
so interesting. I have to be more proactive on it on my end too, but, like, I don't know, I've always thought of that, and I'm like, "That would be super dope just to, like."
I don't think that's an impossible thing.
Mhm.
You know, I feel like there has to be some sort of connection between those two.
Yeah.
Has to be.
Yeah.
I feel like that's another. I guess another cool part about like the human nature is a spiritual journey as well.
Yeah.
Not just you go to work every day and type or do whatever you do at work. It's
Yeah.
just the spiritual side too.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, well, I mean, as we go to kind of like wrap things up here, like, do you think that there's anything that we haven't talked about or anything that you'd love to like share for our listeners, either as inspiration or tips, or just be like, yeah, whatever, like anything you have it to say that we haven't covered?
Um. No. I guess a tip. I don't know. Be No matter what you do, just be yourself. I guess. Um. Try to go go through every day. And it's harder. It's easier said than done. But just trying to find yourself, I feel like you would definitely. Um. Oh man, I don't know. I have to rewind that
Oh, that's
part.
okay. I
Yeah.
like, yeah, my closeouts on these, episodes are always like, "So,
Just walking.
they're always super awkward, and I'm always, like, saying a bunch of things, and people are like, "Oh." So,
Yeah, no, most
don't worry
definitely. That's
about it
fair.
too.
All right. Okay. I guess I'll try to say it as best I can. I gotta think it out. Oh, no matter what you do, whether that be art, anything, technology, trying to just find whatever, just find yourself. Go through every day. Uh, I don't know. I'm done. I don't know.
So, it's like, stay connected to yourself, and that's kinda like what I'm feeling from that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Stay connected to yourself. No matter what you do in life, just so long as you're on your own path and you're on your own journey, you're never gonna go. You're never gonna go wrong. You're never gonna stray. Just continue to be on your own path,
Yeah.
and it will always it will always bring you onto the end goal, like in your end goal.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, that literally applies to, like, everything. It's just follow your own path. Do
yeah.
you.
Yep. Do you? Do you? Don't let nobody stray you from you. Continue to do you.
Yeah. And so your music, I know last time we talked when you were here, you were like, "Oh, I'm still, like, dabbling on, like, sharing it and this and that," but, like, do you ha I know you have Instagram, but, like,
Yeah.
would you like for people to, connect with you on Instagram, or do you have a different platform that you wanna share with others, or?
Most definitely. Yeah. Now you can connect with me. I'm Good Brullah Music, GoodBrullah Music on Instagram. And just Brullah on all platforms. Uh, iTunes. Is it still iTunes? Apple
Oh,
Music.
Apple
There we
Music,
go. Like
yeah.
I told you before,
I
I'm
know.
like a 72-year-old man and this 27-year-old body. Apple Music, Spotify. Yeah. So yeah, I got this mixtape, got a couple stuff coming up. So
Yeah.
very excited about that.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, and
Yeah.
for, like, our listeners, I'm gonna put all of that stuff in the bio. So,
Okay.
I'll be able to add it in, and then, people should be able to just go to the links,
Okay,
and
cool.
then, yeah,
Cool.
and connect with you
Oh,
that way.
cool.
I'm
All
excited to
right.
hear your music. I don't think I've heard it yet. I don't think
Really?
so.
Oh, okay. I know what happened. So So okay, honestly, I was supposed to drop some stuff earlier
Mm.
this month. Well, actually on the 23rd. But of course, work
Yeah.
and just the daily life gets in the way. So of course it got delayed. But I did have some of my music stuff on Instagram, but I ended up scrubbing it so I can start promoting my tracks, my
Oh,
mixtape.
yeah. Yeah, because I remember you
Yeah.
were, like, in that phase where you're like, "Yeah, I am trying to, like, transition this and change
Mhm.
this up a little bit." So, I totally
Yeah.
get that. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
excited to hear it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, most definitely. I'd love to send some stuff your way too, so
Hell
I can get
yeah.
like some ears on there too. That would be
Yeah,
awesome.
I would love that. Like, I'm totally into,
Okay.
like, doing the like, hearing it and trying to develop my own ear because I listen to a lot of different types of music, but it'd be cool to be in the creation process and be like, "Oh, wait, I think this could be, like, a good addition," or blah, 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 or, like
Yeah.
yeah, I'd love that.
Yeah. 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 I'm all ears too, so
Woo!
they will not fall on deaf ears.
Awesome. Yeah, well, Stanley, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me today and like for sharing so much of like your experience with music and opening up about, just how it's affected your life and your own creative processes on things. I think it's really awesome and I'm like excited to connect because this is like a world I've been deeply connected to and it's just like, yeah, I know I wanna continue to learn more, and I want listeners to, like, tap into music because it's a very healing, art that I think we underestimate, like,
Oh yeah. Oh
so
yeah. Well, yeah. Thanks for having me on. Honestly, I had a lot of fun answering your questions and
yeah.
just honestly just connecting a little bit more.
Yeah, likewise. I know. I was telling Sam too. I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna have to go out to Houston, or whenever you guys come out here, we could think of some like cool things, or if there's different events and stuff like that. Like, I'll try to keep an eye out and be like, "Hey, this is happening, or this could be really cool for you guys to check out." But
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We're just skipping a hop away,
yeah,
so be happy
seriously.
to. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well, awesome. Well, thank you so much. And to all of our listeners out there, I'm going to add Stanley's contact information in the bio. Feel free to check that out, hit up some of his music. Totally excited to hear that. And then, yeah, just tune in for the next episode. So thank you so much.
Thank you.